time limit. In the red corner, at 270 pounds from New York City, the Louisiana heavyweight champion, Hacksaw Duggan. And his partner at 242 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Matt Bourne. In the blue corner, the brand new Mid-South Tag Team Champions. At 236 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Wrestling 2. And his partner at 238 pounds from Houston, Texas, Tiger Conway Jr.
Tag team match, a non-title match, but it's Hacksaw Duggan and Matt Bourne going against the new Mid-South Tag Team title holders, Mr. Wrestling 2, who's in the ring now, and his partner on the outside, Tiger Conway Jr. and Super Destroyer come to the ring, Bill.
I see Super Destroyer sitting in a chair about 20 feet from the ring. And of course, this crowd is boiling. You could hear the crowd as 2 came in the ring. They started chanting 2, 2, 2. There you see Super Destroyer monitoring what's going on. Matt Bourne in there with Mr. Wrestling 2, the legend. A man with a knee lift that he can pop you and put you away at any time. Look at Matt Bourne knows it. Matt Bourne knows it, and Dugan trying to come in from the side, and Wrestling 2 just showed him how to keep his distance and stay out of the ring. Listen to that crowd. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. He and Tiger Conway just exploded the crowd in Houston, Texas on March the 11th as they beat DiBiase and Bourne for the Mid-South Tag titles. It seemed like DiBiase and Bourne just had their own names engraved and were locked in on those titles and would do anything to keep them because they always had another member of the Rat Pack. Or they even had the one-time Kamala who had a score to settle with Andre the Giant. I think DiBiase was kind of put with a very pertinent question by Dugan as to whether or not he had arranged that, and DiBiase saw the look in Dugan's eye and denied it, but I'm not too sure. And there comes Hacksaw, the Louisiana champion, the man who has already said there's only room for one Hacksaw in Mid-South Wrestling, and either he or Hacksaw Reed will have to leave. We'll see. Hacksaw Reed will be here next week, live on TV. Tiger Conway, that tremendous agility. Look at arm drag right into it. And he's got him in an arm bar, and Dugan is trying to move out of there. We got midgets next. Stay tuned. We got a great midget tag match coming up next. For children of all ages, but this is for wrestling fans of all ages. This could be a main event anywhere. This is what I'm talking about on Mid-South Wrestling. The main events. Ted Bays, my good friend and the manager of Channel 34 in Oklahoma City, also has grown up around professional wrestling and all his travels through Philadelphia when he managed stations there in Texas, different places. And he said, without a doubt, Mid-South Wrestling has the best television matches he's ever seen. And coming from a man of his stature and a man I respect, I really take that as a compliment to Mid-South. Oh, Matt Bourne trying to trip, and he's successful in tripping Wrestling 2 from outside the ring, and Dugan quick to attack. You got to remember, the Rat Pack is a well-oiled machine. You wonder what DiBiase is. We've checked the crowd. There's nobody in a gorilla suit or any other type of disguise. But they could have the Super Destroyer sitting out there to make 2 and Tiger Conway worry about him, and it's not beyond them to have DiBiase trying to sneak in someplace else. But Conway and 2 can only take it one man at a time, so to speak. They got the fight of their life on their hands right now, even though it's a non-title bout. It's very, very important to them, right here on national TV. Matt Bourne in there. He caught Tiger Conway with a reverse elbow, tags Dugan. Ferrara counting him out of the ring. Dugan to the attack. Dugan showing that raw, brute power as he snaps Tiger up, gives him a case of severe whiplash. Dropping him, going for the fall. But Tiger Conway shows the intestinal fortitude he's made of, and that his championship with Mr. Wrestling 2 is no fluke. He's a top-notch athlete. Comes from a wrestling family. His father, Tiger Conway, a great athlete in his day. Snap there by Matt Bourne. Crowd standing in their seats. They're pulling for Tiger Conway. Matt Bourne goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it was close, but Conway got out. Tag is made Ferrara, the referee, saying one man at a time in, puts Dugan out. Inside cradle. Conway's got Bourne. Dugan in trouble. Changes so fast that even I have a hard time keeping up with the boy.
Bill, you can never tell it's a non-title match. The way it's been going hammer and tongue. Hell, like you acting rough and rugged. You're seeing it right now on Mid-South.
Well, you know, if you can beat someone in a non-title match, you don't have to face them in a title match, boy. That's a good time to beat them. But the big thing, too, is pride, and right here on national TV where all the fans and promoters can see it. Tiger Conway showing that agility. He comes right on. Look at that man. Combination type attack. Tags in Wrestling 2, and Wrestling 2 is coming in like a one-man war. I can promise you that. He stays geared. He's at a low boil all the time. And he's popping that knee lift. And he just double leg dives and drives him into that turnbuckle. There's Hacksaw Dugan coming, and Tiger Conway firing in. All four men in there. And both men from both teams illegal in, therefore Rick Ferrara can't disqualify either team. And it's broken down into a battle there. And Tiger Conway falls out on the floor to the backside of the ring, and Wrestling 2 doesn't see he's fighting Hacksaw Dugan, and he catches Dugan with a knee lift. And Matt Bourne drives a knee into Wrestling 2's back. Matt Bourne's got Wrestling 2 hurting. Rick Ferrara telling Hacksaw Dugan to get out. And then he intercepts Tiger Conway. And then while the referee is out of the picture, there goes Dugan with a spear. But Wrestling 2 got out of the way. And Matt Bourne is laid low. Knee lift by 2. Drop kick by Tiger Conway and Matt Bourne. Matt Bourne just got connected. His head almost taken off. And the tag champions win the match. And look at that crowd, boys.
They're going wild as Mr. Wrestling 2 and Tiger Conway Jr., the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, take the measure of Hacksaw Dugan and Matt Bourne. We'll be